Welcome back, everyone, to another amazing episode of Hotel Talk. And I'm so excited to have with us today a very dear friend, Demetra George. That's her stage name anyway. And I'm going to let her tell us in her own words all about her life and her proper name and what it was, what it became. But just to give you guys a little bit of an intro, she is a 2-time Grammy nominee. It's just amazing. I can't even believe it. She's an opera singer. She is, or was, you were Miss Teenage America talent winner.
Yes.
And Miss Oklahoma in the American pageant. And she's won so many opera awards, I couldn't even write them all down. I was like, forget it. We're just going to launch into this and you'll tell us yourself. And also something that I know you are particularly proud of is that you've coached so many younger people and inspired them to not just get into Broadway, but take leading roles. And I think you've got a total of 16 or more counting, which includes The Sound of Music, Les Miserables, The King and I, and so many more. So that's just amazing in itself. So Demetra, more welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, sweetie.
And of course, you're staying at San Rafael Resort now. It's your
heaven.
second time.
Piece of heaven. People don't know. If you haven't been here, please come here and enjoy. It's such a beautiful slice of life.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
so nice. And we met way back when, of course, because of Olga Balaglitz, Creative Women, who she has actually done a podcast that was released a while ago. Yeah, so yeah, and I'm part of Creative Women. And but let's go into you. Tell us about you, your background. Let's sum
Where
up
do I begin?
a colourful life.
Raised in Oklahoma. We live in California now, my husband and I, and our daughters and grands. And I love traveling. I wanted to be a singer so I could travel. But prior, I wanted to be a school teacher. I wanted that apple on my desk in the morning, so I love children. I love teaching children. And that's why I was so successful with the Broadway students.
You got to do it. You did get to
I
do
did.
it.
It actually turned out for the best. And I was able to teach and perform at the same time. When we lived in Florida, I was a resident soprano for many companies there, the opera company, one of the symphonies. It worked out quite well, and still be with my children and not have to travel too far. So the story goes, I told you this last night, one snowy morning in Oklahoma, my mother played the organ at church and nobody showed up because of the snow. Yaya was the only lady singing in the choir and a bass, and they called me up from Sunday school, and my Thea was the Sunday school teacher, and she said, okay, go upstairs and see if you can help. And after I sang in the church that first time, I was hooked. I just loved singing. And one thing led to another. At 15, I did my first audition for a professional company and was taken into the company, into the chorus. But the morning of the audition, it was raining. Opened the front door and I said, it's raining, Mom, I'm not going. And so I shut the door and she grabbed my ponytail and she went, whoa, you're going. I said, no, I'll go next year. You're going. So I was the youngest person ever taken into a company. I turned 16 when I started work. First summer I was in the chorus as a dancer singer, and the next year I had the lead in West Side Story as Maria. So that's where that love of that beautiful duet comes from, the Tonight duet.
Yes, because I didn't mention to you all, anyway, this is going to be released already a few weeks after this event, but we had 2 nights ago the most stunning performance at our amphitheatre at San Rafael Resort, where Demetra sang a whole array of Disney, opera, Broadway, and it was just amazing. And the guests were just, sitting there. We'd obviously advertised in-house that this was going to happen, but I think nobody expected.
And my Greek wasn't too bad.
Your Greek was perfect.
You're cute.
Perfect.
Thank you.
It was
so
amazing.
Nervous.
Oh, it was perfect.
I had the best time.
Tell us about your Greekness.
Okay, let's see. My dad's side is from Kalamata. I haven't been back in a lot of years. I'd really like to see what it looks like now. Mom's side are Greeks and Italians from Syracuse. And the family name was Apostolopoulos, and before that it was Syracuse. So we really don't know. I did my DNA, and I have a lot of things in it, plus some Lebanese, which I was so excited about. And I don't know which side it came from. My brother was 6'4", so I just remember my papu's sister on that side had to duck to get in the house in Kalamata. She was so tall. And I'm 5'8", and they thought, what do you feed this kid? She's so tall. And it must have been the Oklahoma beef, growing the corn and the beef. So no, I was so blessed to grow up there. Dad met Mother in church when he was in the service. Yaya and Papu invited all the Greek boys, the servicemen, to their house for dinner after church. They met, and that was it. It was wonderful growing up.
Was it like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, being Greek origin
My goodness.
in America?
Yes. And that's our family's favorite movie. We watch it every year. Do the quotes, and now the new movie's coming out.
There's a new one, I know.
Yes, and the ad is,
and she's actually
painting
starring.
souvlaki. Is there anyone souvlaki here? We can't wait to see it. We're going as a family to see it. I know, it'll be darling.
That's so nice. So, okay, so you grew up, how did you get into beauty pageants? Apart from obviously being naturally beautiful.
You
But
are so sweet. You are so sweet. There are so many beautiful people in the world, and it's an art to be gorgeous. It's a gift. I was not one of those people. I'm a type A personality and vivacious like you, and I love to be with people. And the people who were on the board of the theater where I was performing came to me and said, we'd like to ask you to be in a beauty pageant. And I went, no, I don't wear bathing suits. I'm embarrassed. I walked like a boy. I was a tomboy. And so I reneged, and they came back again and asked, and I said, can I sing? Will they let me sing? And they said, of course you can sing. You have to do talent. And I went, okay, you got a deal. But many hours later of walking with a book on my head and trying to slow my speech down and make sense, I was very young. And when I won the Miss Teenage America Talent Award, I was so surprised, but I was doing what I loved with lots of energy and
genuine talent. And
it was so much fun, and it changed my life, sweetie. I can't tell you.
Aw, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. So how did you meet your lovely husband, the love of your life?
Okay. I was singing in professional theater in Kansas, and Mike ended up as the manager of a dormitory that was owned by a man from Oklahoma. And I had just finished my reign, and he was told by the management, Miss Oklahoma's coming, we want you to take extra good care of her. My parents couldn't afford a private room, so he gave it to me as a gift. Just like, that's the reason I didn't want to be in the pageants. I couldn't afford anything like that. Gowns and fancy shoes, and the people who supported me, they gave me everything I needed.
Wow.
The only thing that was mine was my underwear and my stavro. So that was it, seriously. So you have to be grateful that people are kind and willing to support. And that's why I try so hard when I see someone in need who has aspirations as I did to support them.
To give back. Yeah, and you really do. That, as you probably realize, that St. Raphael is a huge part of our ethos, kindness. We have it as our slogan, radiate kindness, to our staff, to our team. And definitely from my mother's side. My mom always told us just be kind, and she always gave back, and she never threw anything away.
Here, I talk to your staff. They love you guys, and I love them. I mean, I've made a list of people that I adore here, and I can't wait to see them again. I will never forget them.
That's so amazing. Thank you.
From the people at the desk to the kitchen, and by the way, Elias owes me. I have to go in the kitchen to get that recipe that I want.
You want the Mahalabi recipe?
Yes.
So tell us a bit. You've said, I mean, all of these things changed your life. So you discovered your love of singing. Your parents supported you in that. you became, well, first of all, Miss Teenage America. And then how did you then go on to Miss Oklahoma?
Again, I was approached by a former Miss America in Oklahoma from my university. And I went, no, I don't have time. I'm going to Broadway. And she said, no, you should do this, really. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I am not a pageant person. I don't watch them. It was not my thing. But, sweetie, again, my dad was a dry cleaner, president of the church board, and Mom played the organ, and she was the district governor of the Daughters of Penelope. And so we were a busy family. Plus, they had a Greek orchestra called Ta Mangakya. And I played the bouzouki in it. I was rhythm bouzouki and featured singer. I told you last night, I sang at Plaka. They broke dishes at my feet.
Amazing.
And it was
And
very
you've sung
exciting.
all over, Cyprus, Greece, Turkey, obviously all over America. Azerbaijan, did you sing?
Yes, Azerbaijan, Mexico. So, and I tried not to go too far from home for too long because raising two daughters, raising kids is a full-time job. And when you're doing other work, I mean, I taught 50 students a week in my studio. So we were a busy family. The good thing is both of the girls picked it up.
Are they both singers?
Oh my goodness. They both had scholarships.
Wow.
The oldest daughter, Devrin, lasted, they both continue to sing, but she didn't major in it. She went into computers. She won all kinds of awards for computer science. And the young one, Denise, she lasted 2 weeks and said, Mom, these people are crazy. I'm going to become a psychologist and fix them. So seriously. So she became a psychologist, but they're both fabulous singers. And when people hear them, my friends from Broadway, they say, why didn't they go to Broadway? I said, ask Daddy. He went, one singer in the family's enough. Seriously.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of my questions. What would your advice be? Because being a busy mom, I mean, I know what that's like, and then having a very challenging career. Okay, we love it, but what would your advice be? First of all, how did you do it? How did you balance it to traveling a lot?
I had help like you do. I had nannies. I had some wonderful nannies, but the best was when my parents moved nearby. Yaya and Papu are the best, because everything is done with love. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that stability. And what would your advice be to other working mums or people living similar lives?
Again, support and have plan B always. You may not go where you're expecting to go. So, we're in retrograde right now. Do you know about the planets? It's retrograde. And so things in the next 3-4 weeks won't turn out the way you expect. Don't sign contracts. Don't make plans. Just go with the flow. And that last sentence is probably what I would say for all working moms. You have to go with the flow, adjust, compromise.
And have a lot of humor.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's my key. Just like when you're going to flip, just breathe and just laugh it off.
You're great.
Yeah.
I watched you. You're amazing.
Oh, we all do our best. So the beauty pageants, we actually had on Hotel Talk already a couple of beauty pageants. We had Miss Serbia, and I'm trying to think who else. There's been several people who've talked about having this talent or going for that. Tell us a little bit about the actual pageants, because I'm always just amazed. I mean, things come up of people saying, contestants coming out with quite pretty silly quotes, and then we've heard other things of them ripping, like just being like Miss Congeniality, living Miss Congeniality, ripping and destroying swimming costumes.
Yes.
I love Miss Congeniality.
For me, it was probably
how
different
was
than
it with
a
you?
lot of people, because I'd already been in theater for 2-3 years professionally. So for me, it was a job, and I executed it as a job. You prepare, you rehearse, you go do it, you're finished, you go home at night. And if there's a reward, fine. If there's not, there was still a reward. So I had so much fun in my beauty pageants because I didn't take it like I have to win.
Yeah.
And I always remember they asked me a question, what would you do if you had a girlfriend who kept borrowing things and forgetting to return them? Now, I'm 16 years old. Yeah, I'm 16 by then. And I said, oh, well, I'd asked my girlfriend to put up collateral. And they look at me and they went, collateral? And I said, yeah, like her boyfriend. And once she put up collateral, she'd never forget to return. The audience burst into laughter, okay? And for me, I mean, that's my humor. I use it in my life every day.
Yeah.
And I love to make people laugh, as you saw. And I live my life like that. My husband's always telling me, you're so funny. You're just like your mom. You know, you have to be happy. And I do. I wake up smiling in the morning. I'm not a morning person, but I'm always happy. Just, even in sadness, you can find some humor that keeps us going.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you need that sadness to have the happiness afterwards.
Well, sweetie, I had breast cancer in 2015, and I'm still being monitored by the doctors. And found a wonderful friend in my oncologist. She comes to all my performances in LA. It's so wonderful, a blessing. And I sing for cancer patients at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. That fulfills me. I sing for blind children every year. I let them touch my face to feel the vibrations. Also for the deaf children, because that's a way they can connect with you. And I just think, you know, you can't give enough love in this world. So that's what I like about this place. I feel it.
You feel it.
Yeah.
That's so
I
lovely.
know the names of your staff. It's amazing. In the kitchen. They are precious. I think there must be a thread they have to go through you to be able to fit in this amazing place.
Thank you.
We're welcome. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about going through breast cancer and how that changed your life.
So it was between the two daughters' weddings. Our daughters got married 10 months apart. And when I was diagnosed, they panicked. And I went, nope, I believe God's going to keep me here for a reason. Not sure what it is yet, but I'll be here. And when I started the radiation therapy, I had a lumpectomy. I went, God, whatever your will is, let it be done. Just keep me strong. And I put sticky notes on the mirror. And every day after the radiation, I take another one down and another one down. And I made it 3 weeks before the wedding. I was invited to a dinner at a friend of a friend's house, my doctor. And she took me to this lovely house in Beverly Hills, and we had dinner. They had 3 Great Dane dogs. And I love animals, and unfortunately they love me, and they know that, and they put their noses on my lap or their faces under my armpit. One of the Great Danes came next to me at the dinner table. They unfortunately let them roam. He wanted my food. I turned to him and said, no, no, no. He bit me in the face. And blood was gushing out of my face. This 3 weeks before second daughter's wedding. And we went to emergency. I was in the hospital. Mike was traveling. Both daughters were out of town. And I was in the hospital with a dog bite. I was swollen shut. Luckily, we got to a good doctor who did lots of shooting to take the swelling down. But now I'm very careful with strange animals.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what was worse, the breast cancer.
Oh my
worrying
goodness.
about surviving, but
it didn't leave any
changed
marks. Amazing.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm really blessed.
That's the thing with animals. You have to be so careful.
It's true. That's why they're animals
Yeah.
and we're humans. But I love them. We adopted a Cyprus poodle from here. I saw this dog thrown out of a car and picked her up. She was 4 weeks old, fit in my hand. She was full of mites. Took her to the vet, and she said, she's not going to live, honey. Don't get attached. An English lady in the vet told me, feed her liver every day, twice a day, and she'll make it. Bathe her. We adopted her. She came to America. She lived for 10 years and had a great life. It's hard. I really am an animal person. All the dogs we've had have been adopted. And we had a cat that we adopted who ended up new adopting Tom Jones's family. Tom Jones and his family, our neighbor in Beverly Hills. And she kept going back to his house. And they'd call and say, Demetra, the cat's here. The cat's name was Diva. But you can visit her. Just let us keep her. She loves being here. They fed her on the counter. They hand-fed her. One day, Tom brought her over and let her visit us. It was so cute. We became friends this way.
Yeah.
And I belonged to a ladies' charity, and I took all these books and videos. He autographed them.
Oh.
And we were able to sell them to raise money. But look what an animal did.
Yeah, isn't that
Incredible.
amazing?
Yes, yes. And
Meant
I've
to
been
be.
bitten by a parrot. I've been bitten by a Great Dane and a Doberman Pinscher.
Oh my goodness.
Doberman got under my skirt at a house we were visiting as we came up to the front door and bit my leg. Maybe I smell good. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So I'm really careful now.
Yeah.
I'm telling the children, please don't touch until you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we tell our kids. I mean, we love animals,
sweetie.
but you just have to be
Absolutely.
so careful
Do you
because,
have a pet?
well, I think we have, 16. We have 10 adopted cats,
Oh, I love it.
1 dog,
Oh.
French bulldog. We've got 2 Russian hamsters, miniature hamsters.
Is that the one I saw on
Yeah, on Instagram recently.
Oh, so precious.
And then we have 2 tortoise. Yeah, 2 tortoise.
Oh, I raised one.
And 1 goldfish.
Oh, honey,
Yeah.
that's adorable.
And I'd love to have. My dream is to have a pig one day. I'd like to have a pig, but yeah, it's quite a big responsibility, and they obviously grow quite big, and they need a lot of space. But one day,
there are miniatures.
there are potbelly pigs, miniatures, but you're not guaranteed that they are miniatures. So a lot of people
You have
adopt
to
them,
come
and then
to
they
America to get
grow
We have
huge.
pig races, and they're always the small ones. In the South,
Yeah.
where I'm from, we have tiny ones, and they do pig races. They're so adorable.
They're so adorable, and they're cleverer than dogs.
Uh-huh.
Can be trained more
People don't
easily.
know that.
Yeah, they can paint. They can do puzzles.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm glad we had that discussion.
Yeah. So there you go. So tell us. So you've been helping me yesterday. We were laughing. We had a lovely dinner at Golden Monkey. I don't know if any of you guys are following me on social media, but we
Please,
shared
folks,
some.
if you haven't been to Golden Monkey, you have to come. It is the meal of a lifetime. I felt I was in Beverly Hills.
Delicious.
Sweetie,
Oh,
they
thank
don't
you.
know what they have here.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And so we were talking about different types of people. I remember watching just a documentary on how Disney's have evolved and how, way back when it was Snow White and Cinderella, it was more higher pitch, softer songs. And now it's more about,
Classically trained singers
Yes.
did those. That's why.
and now it's more about belting out the music, and it's changed with the casting and role types of the leads, let's say princesses, or they're not even princesses anymore. They're, lead, let's say female characters in the Disney. And I was saying as well that, now I'm tired, my voice has got husky, and you were giving me advice about how to use my diaphragm and in general. So I think our listeners would love to hear this. So please tell us a little bit about voice control and give everyone some tips.
Sadly, we quit coloring our speech, and we've become monotone.
I mean, so many people are
that's
monotone.
so tough. And it sneaked its way into singing. And there's a vocal burn that people do when they bang their chords together. And it stays and it makes notes. I mean, we talked about Celine Dion and
And Adele.
and Adele having
to take breaks.
nodes, and they had to stop. I mean, even Julie Andrews, after she did one of her movies, she ended up with laryngitis and then didn't sing and then had surgery, and they took too much of the vocal cord off. Victoria ruined her voice, and she was the artist of the century for musicals. And so you have to protect it. And you're young still, so you need to use your tummy muscles to support it. It's when I teach, I use several examples. One is like squeezing the toothpaste from the bottom, and it pushes right up through the spout, or a dish on a stick, balancing it like this. But that support is so important. It drives it, it keeps it free, and we sit so much. That's one of the problems. We're at the computer or the television, or we're driving, so we don't use that support. But you can actually talk all day, scream like Marissa does, bark like a dog for hours and never lose your voice if you use support.
Yes, because that's what we were saying yesterday. So my little one, everyone, Parissa, she can scream. Demetra heard her yesterday, and I said, "Oh my goodness, this child can just go wah for ages, and she will never lose her voice." And Demetra told me, "Well, no, children don't, and animals because they use their stomach muscles."
That's it. And we're going to work on that.
Wow, I
We're
love
gonna have
it.
some fun.
This is so much fun. Okay, so I ask everyone this favorite quote.
Oh, I wrote them down
I love
last
it. Yes.
night. Okay. When I won the first pageant, my mom bought me a plaque, and it's been with me. I keep it at the piano and remind myself, this is so beautiful for artists. It says, "The Lord respects me when I work, but he loves me when I sing." It just makes me want to cry, because that's giving a part of your body to everyone around. The other is, if you see someone without a smile, give them yours. I always try.
Oh, I love that.
I have to tell you, there were, people working really hard at breakfast the other day, and I met Polly, who wasn't smiling. And I said, "Polly, tell me, where are you from?" So we had a wonderful conversation. And then I met Demetra.
I'm going to write this down. I love it.
Oh, my goodness. And then Michael, who took care of us for days and came over and visited with us. And just the smile was the entrance. The lady who flips the eggs and the waffles. Oh, my goodness. Every morning it was, "Good morning, Kalimera. Thank you. I love these eggs." And it made me feel good to share my smile.
Yeah.
And now I have new friends. Life is short. Take a trip. Buy the shoes. Eat the cake. Make sure it's vegan.
Exactly. I love it. I love it.
Me too, sweetie.
That's so nice.
I mean, you've really touched our lives while we're here. Oh, here we go. And this one. This is a really funny one. You'll think about this. There's nothing in the middle of the road but yellow lines. That's where you don't cross. And dead skunks. This is a very Southern expression. You're either this way or you're this way. You can't be in the middle. And
take a stance.
And this was my mom's. "'Tis better to be silent and thought a fool than to open your mouth and let it be known." And I think it's been attributed to many.
I think my dad would
authors.
love something like that.
Yes, and Mom would tell me these things, and I go, "Why are you telling me this, Mom?" But then I remember the pageants. Okay, I was from a barely middle income family, and when the Miss Teenage girls were invited to a luncheon, it was a fellowship of Christians and Jews, and it was a beautiful luncheon, a big ballroom, and there were ministers and rabbis and everything from the state of Oklahoma, and we were sitting with these men of the cloth and having lunch. But unfortunately, they served breast of chicken. Well, at my house, the kota was carved and everybody got their piece. I always got the leg, so I had no idea how to cut a breast. I start cutting. One piece flies to the rabbi, one piece flies to the priest, and I went, "I don't think I'm hungry." So, yeah, look at this.
But what an experience. And look at how far you've come, and that you never forgot as well all the values your parents gave you and everything that you had, because you had love and you grew up in a wonderful home. It was irrelevant if there weren't material things. You had so much more. Dolly Parton said that she had so much. I love Dolly Parton.
Yes.
That she had so much more than wealth. The material wealth growing up. She had love.
She buys books for the children.
I know, she does so much. So much. She's given hundreds of thousands of books, And her thing is always about education.
Well, we need that because the Republicans in America and Trump followers are trying to ban books from the children. And
it's crazy, and great
They're
books.
trying to ban Anne Frank. Unbelievable. So it's a scary time we're raising our kids in, sweetie. I hope it doesn't come to pass.
Yeah.
Because any time in history, the book banners have turned out to be the bad guys.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know all the truths of the universe.
I think Forbes had a really interesting article recently about why children are reading less. And part of it, obviously, is screen time and everything, surrounding social media. But it's also that the way that they're being taught now, they're losing their love for the characters because they are being taught it in such a way, or just read this book or read snippets from a book, that they don't have that time to fall in love and reflect on the characters in it.
And then they don't use their imagination.
Yes, and then without imagination, you can't be creative.
Role playing. Oh my goodness, you're right. You're right. I try to spend time with my grandchildren singing and recreating what they've seen. Okay, you've watched it. If I have to watch Sing 2 again, but I loved it. We turn it off and then they start singing. I can't believe a month ago I started playing Hocus Pocus. Have you seen it?
Yes, a long time ago, yeah.
Oh my God, it's so adorable. And the family went, no, the kids are going to be scared. And I said, I'm not going to show them the scary part, but I'm going to tell them it's fun, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
This is a tradition, this is how it started. We're not eating children, but we're having fun, okay? And now they're running around the house singing, I Put a Spell on You. It's adorable.
Yeah, and just, exactly. Igniting that.
That creative
side,
Exactly.
imagination.
Yes, I'm sure that my daughters are not thrilled to have repeat, that it's on repeat 1,000 times, but look, it's teaching
Better
memory.
that than, YouTube shorts.
Yes,
and
exactly. Okay, and we all try to put educational things on the screen for them, but there's nothing like music.
Yeah.
It touches the heart. They know also that kids who are involved in music are 20% smarter than everybody else. So you can't beat it.
You can't beat that.
And you have a son who plays chess. Oh
I know.
God. I can't
He's
believe
hilarious. He loves it. And
Does
he
he
reads up
sing?
about strategy.
Does he sing?
Because
everybody else does.
Bless. I guess Leon probably does. He's quite confident, but he's never had any formal lessons.
Okay, well, we're going to have to include him. Okay.
But he is so sweet. I mean, he
is so sweet.
But I think I can only imagine your house. I'm not a good singer at all. My husband's quite good. But we'll be at home and we'll just break out into song.
You are wonderful. Don't tell me that. You knew all the words to the songs. You were on pitch.
You're so
We're going to get you
sweet.
back to it because I really think that singing will raise your pitches.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. I'm up for it.
Okay, and then I'm recording you.
But okay. But the most important thing I think with the kids is we have so much fun. Like I'll just be cooking or I don't know, doing something mundane around the house, and I'll just make up a song about it. Or then I make up songs to all of them about how much I love them.
That is brilliant.
And they all copy, and so I'll hear them on their own, and they'll be, Parissa will be like, what was she singing yesterday? She's like, you must always listen. And she was making up a song about listening because then you're going to be cleverer. She was singing it. And it's so cute.
I volunteer for the Heart Association, ALS. That's Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a nerve thing. People lose the ability to swallow, move. And my best friend, my Italian girlfriend, who's godmother of our children, Giovanna, was head of all the activities and fundraising. So I was doing an event for her, just wherever she needed me. And Pat Boone, who wrote the music to Exodus, was supposed to be the MC, and he was there on the golf course. It was a golf tournament, and he got sunstroke, and the ambulance came and took him away, and she came to me, and she went, Demetra, you have to help me. I said, anything, what do you want? She said, you have to MC the dinner. And I said, I've never ever MC'd anything in my life. You have to be kidding. She goes, no, I know you can do it. You like to talk, you're going to do this. So they gave me the list, what I had to announce, and then they gave me the auction that I had to present. And in 5 minutes, I found a song for each auction item.
Wow.
And instead of introducing it and doing, do I hear $25, $25,
Yeah.
$30, $35? I sang a song, a little snippet about the piece they were auctioning off and saved the day. It's what I do.
Wow,
I
that's
didn't know what
so
to do.
creative. I mean,
it was me.
I bet everybody sitting there was just like, wow. I've never seen this.
Mostly the Nuna was very happy because can you imagine losing your MC to heat stroke? See, we've been having hot weather in the summer in LA for a long time too. This climate change is so scary. I mean, I saw pictures. Greece is burning.
It's burning. So sad.
Lord help us.
Oh, I won't get into that because you know my opinions
I
about
do.
a lot of this.
It's okay.
So,
That's
okay, come on.
another
Before
story.
I give you a bonus question, sing something for us.
Oh, sweetie.
Just one line of anything.
You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or whether we are white or copper skin, we need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. Need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind. Amen. Thank you, guys.
Honestly, every time you sing, I want to cry.
Oh, sweetie,
It's just,
thank you.
there's so much empathy and feelings and love in your voice. It's
Thank
just
you,
amazing.
sweetie. Well, my best story is still the one about taking the handkerchief from home and going to the talent show in 4th grade, singing Never on Sunday, and beating the older kids doing tapedia tupideak. I still can't believe I did that. My mother went, "You did what?" I said, "I wanted to help."
Aw, I love it. There's so many stories. Right, let's get the bonus question.
I'm going to dig down deep here.
Yeah, dig. See what comes out. Oh, sorry.
Let's see.
Ding, ding, ding. Let's see what you got. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Let me think. I don't want to be trite here. Probably change my name.
Really?
Yeah. Sooner, because the agents didn't like my
Yeah, your surname.
surname, which was Giannopoulos, and they made me change it. And then they didn't like anything I picked. They kept making up names for me. I would have taken my baptized and middle name sooner, I think, because they had such a hard time saying it. And sometimes they would push me aside because they couldn't pronounce it. Yeah, I think so.
When did you become, let's say, your stage name, Demetra George?
In my early 30s.
Oh, really? That late?
Yeah.
Oh, so,
and we
okay.
didn't realize that it was a problem till this one lovely Jewish agent in New York took me aside and went, "Honey, you got to get rid of that name. It's a problem." And I went, "Really?" She said, "Too hard. We can't do it. It won't fit anywhere."
Yeah, it's
12
long.
letters.
Yeah.
12 letters. I went, "Okay." So, yeah, I wish I had. And I was only Dimitra when I was in trouble because I grew up as Debbie. They Dimitra to Deborah
Okay.
to Debbie, which I absolutely hated.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you have become Debbie George or?
Well, you know, I don't
Would
know
that
if
have been
they
easier?
translate it the same here, but Dimitri is James.
Yeah,
I should have been Jamie.
Jamie.
And I said, "Mom, why didn't you do that?" Because part of the family shortened their name in other parts of the U.S. And I said, "Why didn't Dad do it?" He said, "Well, he was proud of the name." I said, "Yeah, but Mom, it's so hard to write. Come on. It doesn't fit anywhere." And can you imagine all the autographs I signed as Miss Oklahoma?
My goodness.
Writing
Yeah.
that out. I was, as Miss Oklahoma, one of your jobs is to be the queen of the watermelon festival. They had to find the biggest watermelon. It was this big, so we could get Giannopoulos on it. Okay, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a long.
I know, yes. I
But the
would've-
Greek surnames are like that. We had the same with our kids because obviously my husband's surname is Papadopoulos.
Yes.
And yeah, he'd said, well, let's give them both our surnames. I never changed my surname. And we did give them, they're Shammas Papadopoulos. But I was like, they can't have those as their surnames. So I put Shammas as one of their middle names. So they can use it as much as they want. And it's their choice as they grow up if they want to be. And they might work in the Middle East. It might be in there.
Smart.
But I said, if we put them both as, if it's a double barrel surname, there's literally there won't be enough boxes on a Papadopoulos is already touch and go if it's going to fit on her.
That's it. But they can use it for business.
Yes, if they want.
Great.
Exactly.
Who knows? I know you're going to have some artists in this family after being around the kids.
I think so. Bless them.
That's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. So we just throw it here now. All the questions are here.
Wow.
Demetra, thank you so much. I can, you know me, you and I can talk for hours.
I know, we will.
And we will. We are going to
will.
more, but okay,
God
just
put
not
us
on.
together for a reason. We have some wonderful things to do.
We do. And we're going to plan more events at St. Raphael, everyone.
And I'm taking your gifts back to America to share with people. We can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm going to give you my books as well.
Oh,
and everyone hears Demetra's amazing CD, which it's available on Apple, isn't it? And Spotify.
I don't remember.
You don't
I'm
know.
so busy
We'll look it
now.
up.
I don't pay attention.
We'll look it up. But
the
this
year,
is,
the year,
here it
the
is.
years that I was nominated, Bocelli won, but it was wonderful. I got to
mean,
meet
yeah.
him. I got a kiss from him. He said, "You're beautiful, Miss Demetra." I can tell, he's so sweet. So it was
Imagine,
worth so
it's
much.
amazing.
Yeah.
2 Grammy nominees. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment. Thank you so much, my dear.
Honey, we love you.
We'll see you
Thank you
soon.
so much. I can't wait.